In this video, I'm going to be ranking the best cards right now in NBA 2K25 Myteam on a tier list here, ranking from S that does go all the way down to D tier, and we have about 50-ish of the best cards currently in the game. So if you guys see any card on this list, they're all very elites at their position, probably a top 10 card at their position. So even if I'm putting a card in the C or the D tier category, just know they are probably still very good. And it's just because there's the 50 best cards in the game on this tier list. But hopping right into the first card here, I think LeBron is probably between the A and the S tier category. I would say S tier, I'm going to try to keep to like my top 10 cards in the game. But I think LeBron, because he's the best small forward in my opinion, I think he's actually going to be in that S tier category, probably at the bottom of S tier, like in the lowest part. But he's still a 6'9" small forward, 7-foot wingspan. I think he's like the best small forward over Beasley, over Giannis, over Scottie Pippen. If he's the best at his position, I feel like he has to be in the S tier category. Really love LeBron's jump shot this year. He's still one of the best slashers, still one of the best defenders in game, and I think that makes him an S tier worthy card. James Harden, it's so hard to rank these cards right away because, you know, at the start of the tier list, because there's so many elite level cards. So I think James Harden's also going to be in B tier. Really good offensive point guard, can score the ball at such a high level. I really do like his jump shot as well. Will Chamberlain, I feel like has to be in B tier. His jump shot is a little bit iffy and he only has a 63 ball. But yes, he's 7'1", can play center, power forward, has the tallest, I would assume like the longest wingspan in game at 8 feet, which is ridiculous. 97 block, 95 interior defense. He grabs so many offensive rebounds, which really gives you great chance for second chance points and also for putback. So I think Will Chamberlain has a lot of value at the center and power forward spot. I think he's going to be in B tier. Oscar Robertson, I would say, is in C tier. Again, still a very top tier point guard, but I personally think James Harden is a little bit better of an all-around point guard, especially at scoring the basketball. I think Kareem is very similar to Wilt, but I do think he's slightly worse. So again, I'm going to put Kareem in the C tier category, but again is a very good center and power forward. 100 overall MJ, we got the two GOATs in the S tier category right now. But yes, 100 overall Michael Jordan is probably the best or the second best card in this game. 6'6" at point guard, 6'11" wingspan. He's 100 overall, so crazy good stats, crazy good badges. That's probably one of the fastest and best releases in the game. They gave him the Garland dribble style, which is the best dribble style in the game. They really tried to recreate that 2K22 MJ, the out of position one. I don't think it's as good as that one, but I think this is the best point guard in the game and definitely a top 10 card. So I think he deserves S tier. Hakeem Olajuwon, one of the best power forwards and one of the best centers in this game as well. I think Hakeem Olajuwon has a real shot to be in the S tier category. I think I'm gonna put him in S tier for now. Could I see him dropping out of that? Potentially, but he's really elite at power forward, 7 foot with a 7'3" wingspan, elite defender, really good jump shot on very quick timing. He's fast, he's physical, he can finish on the inside, he can defend at a very high level, he's got a great jump shot, good dribble sigs, he's got a great snatchback animation. I think Hakeem Olajuwon could be a top 10 card in this game. I would say Opal AK-47, probably in B tier. Really good on-ball defender, probably one of the best on-ball defenders in this game, but doesn't provide much else on the offensive end. I think Pink Diamond Beasley, I definitely don't think he's a top 10 card in this game, but I think he's really good offensively. 6'9" at small forward, 7-foot wingspan. If you're just looking for a bucket on offense, go ahead and pick up this Pink Diamond Beasley. He's also really not that expensive right now in game because the market has been crashing quite a bit. So if you want Pink Diamond Beasley for a cheap price and you want a guy that can just score the ball, here's your guy. He can just score at such a high level with a great jump shot. Galaxy Opal Penny Hardaway, very similar card to Oscar, I think is also going to be in C tier. Galaxy Opal D-Rob, I would say he's in B tier. I like him a little bit more than Kareem. I think this card, even though he came out quite a while ago, is still very good at center. If we take a look at this card here, 7'1" at center, 7'5" wingspan, great defender, fairly quick. I like his jump shot always in my team, even though it's on normal timing. I think it's a solid enough jump shot, really good D badges on Hall of Fame. I think D-Rob's going to be in B tier. Chet, I think could be an S tier. Him and Hakeem are very similar cards. I think Hakeem's a little bit better just because Hakeem's better at center than Chet is. Well, I think they're very similar at the power forward position, but Chet is great. Just came out today, just came out a couple days ago, and he's very elite at power forward. 7'1", 7'6" wingspan. The jump shot is good in my opinion. Maybe it's a tad bit slow, but I still think it's a great jump shot. Really good defensive card. I would say Chet is for sure an A tier. Dwayne Wade, I'm gonna have to go C. I think he's a good defensive point guard. He's just a little bit undersized compared to some taller-ish point guards, but he makes up for it with his defensive stats and badges. A very underrated point guard at this time in my team, but I think he's going to have to be in C tier. Now, Dark Matter Dr. J, 100% in the S tier category. One of the best, if not the best shooting guards right now in the game. 6'7" at the 2, 6'11" wingspan. This jump shot is absolutely money. He's got great dribble sigs. He's a good enough defender. He's such a good slasher with a 99 driving dunk. I think you got to respect Dr. J. I think you got to put him in S tier. Kevin Garnett, not a huge fan of this card at power forward. I would say probably C tier. Again, he's great, but compared to a lot of these power forwards on this list, like I think Yee is actually better than Kevin Garnett. I think Yee's actually very underrated. A 7-foot power forward with a great jump shot and solid enough defense. I think Galaxy Football Paul George is also going to be in that B tier category. Maybe you could actually drop him down to the C tier category, which sounds crazy, but he's a really good card. 6'8" at the 2, 6'11" wingspan, a great defensive card, good enough jump shot. I think Paul George is great. I think he deserves to be at least in that B tier spot. Galaxy Lauri Markkanen, a 7-foot small forward. I mean, he is a very similar card to Giannis, just having that crazy height at small forward with a 7'4" wingspan. Jump shot is pretty good on quick timing. I would have liked to see a lot better defense of stats. The badges are not that bad, but he doesn't have like a movable force or on-ball menace or glove, which doesn't help him on defense. And he's also not that quick at only 85 speed, 85 agility, but I still think he's a B tier card all around. He's very glitchy at the small forward position. Austin Reeves, guys, I think is actually an A tier. He is such a good offensive point guard, probably the best, maybe not the best, but he's one of the best scoring point guards in this game. 6'5" at point guard, 6'6" wingspan. He's got the best dribble style in the game, the Darius Garland. He's got such a good jump shot with his release on very quick timing, and he's not like that bad of a defensive card. Definitely a little bit of a liability, but not that bad. Bob McAdoo, I would say, is also a B tier card. Very good for being a free card, probably one of the best free cards in this game right now. 100 overall Kristaps. I mean, I bet you guys could guess where he's going to go in that S tier category. I mean, 7'2", can play center, power forward, crazy good wingspan. The jump shot is elite. It's a 100 overall card, guys. He's going to be an S tier. The same thing with Vince. I mean, yeah, you got to have the 300 overall cards in the S tier category. Another S tier card, we're kind of rattling them off here pretty quick, is going to be the Galaxy Wemby. I would say him or Kristaps is the best center in the game. I think Wemby still potentially could be better because of his jump shot. I like his release a little bit more. He gets such crazy glitchy animations at 7'4", 7'8" wingspan. This card is ridiculous. Definitely a top 10 card in this game. Going to be in the S tier category. Now, Dark Matter Shea, I think is really good. He's a great two-way point guard. He can be a great on-ball defender. He's good offensively. I like his jump shot. I think Shea deserves to be an A tier for sure. Alongside Dark Matter Kevin Durant, probably one of the more difficult cards to defend in this game. Jump shot is really elite this year on very quick timing. I like his dribble sigs. His movement's good. His jump shot's great. He's 6'10" at small forward, 7'5" wingspan, an underrated defender. I think Kevin Durant, the Dark Matter, is going to be in the A tier category. On the flip side of that, Dark Matter Jason Tatum, not really that big of a fan of this card. I think he's going to be in C tier. Dark Matter Scottie Pippen, I think has to be in A tier because of the fact that he can be an elite small forward, probably a top 5 small forward in this game. 6'8", 7-foot wingspan, really elite, probably the best on-ball defender in this game besides like AK. But he can also play shooting guard as well, which I think gives him some versatility at small forward and shooting guard. But I do think he's going to be an A tier. Gally Super Carmelo, a good offensive card, got a great jump shot, but a little bit lackluster on defense. And again, we're talking about the best cards in the game. I think he's going to be in C tier. Dark Matter Brandon Roy, the level 40 in season 5. Really good offensive shooting guard. I think he's similar to like a Dr. J, similar to a Vince Carter, but I'm not 100% sure if I can put him in, obviously, the S tier category. I think he's got to be an A, but for a free card, really elite at shooting guard. Cat, again, not a bad Dark Matter. Power forward, center, got a good jump shot, can defend decently well, rebound a little bit here and there, but I think he's going to be in C tier. Talking about Paolo Banchero, this card I haven't really seen too much in game, but I've heard really good things about Galaxy Paulo. 6'10" at power, or small forward, I should say. 7-foot wingspan. The jump shot's on normal timing, but it's a good release. I would have just liked to seen some better defensive stats on this card. The badges are really good. I mean, he's got almost every single badge in the game, at least on gold. So a very complete card, very well rounded. I think he's going to be in kind of this bottom tier of A. Talking about OG Anunoby, not a bad shooting guard, but I think he fits kind of in the C tier category. Good defensive card, a great two-way card, but realistically not that great. Pink Diamond Bull, same thing. we're talking about the best cards in the game. Yes, he's 7'3" at power forward. That is very glitchy, but there's a lot of better power forwards on this list. Cade Cunningham, a good point guard, 6'6". I think he's a great slasher, good enough defender, a similar card to like Oscar and Penny Hardaway. Jaren Jackson Jr., I think you could argue an A tier, man. He's really good. Jaren's got a great jump shot, really good defensively. And yeah, I think he's going to be an A tier. Now this one might surprise a lot of people, but Dark Matter Shaq, not a huge fan of. I think he's a similar card to Wilt. They don't have great jump shots. They don't have high three balls. Sure, they can impact the game a lot with their rebounding, their defense, and their size. But I think there's a lot better cards. Like, for example, I'd rather run Jaren at power forward than Shaq. I'd rather run Chet as well. You know, obviously the centers like Kristaps and Wemby, Hakeem, I'd much rather run at the center position. Dark Matter Magic Johnson, though, I think him, Austin Reeves, and Shea are very close in ranking at the point guard position. I think Austin Reeves just gives you pure scoring, right, at the point guard position. I think Magic's more there for defense and mismatches, and Shea gives you a little bit of both, being a great defender and also can score the ball. DeMar DeRozan, I would say a C tier card. Like, he's good, but he's nothing crazy. I'd say him and OG are probably at like the bottom of C tier. Karl Malone, I think's not bad of a small forward. I would say probably in like the B tier category. Definitely a solid card that you could have got for free from the Myteam Festival. Jay Rich at the shooting guard position, I would say is an A tier. A really elite offensive shooting guard, very similar to a card like Brandon Roy, can score the ball at a high level, really good slasher. I'm gonna put him in A tier. Yao Ming, I think also has to be an A tier, a really dominant center. The fact that he's 7'6", can hit the three ball, 7'9" wingspan. It's Yao Ming. He's a mismatch on offense. He's a really good interior defender. He can stretch the floor. I think you got to put Yao in A tier. Giannis, very versatile to the point where I might put him in the S tier category just because of his versatility. But I feel like Chet is probably a better overall card. So I'd say Giannis and Chet are probably the best two cards overall in the A tier category so far. Dark Matter Joel Embiid, I'm also going to have an A tier. I think he's a very similar power forward to Hakeem. I think Hakeem's jump shot just a little bit better and can also move a lot, but Joel Embiid, a great defender, good jump shot. I think he's a top tier power forward in this game. Jokic, kind of similar to Kat, good offensively, but I don't think their defense is really up to par with some of the other centers and the other bigs in the game at the power forward position. Dark Matter Gary Payton, I think is going to be an S tier. The second best point guard in my opinion after that 100 overall MJ. Really good jump shot. They updated his release to Kyle Lowry base, Colin Sexton upper on quick timing, which is a great jump shot. He's got good dribble sigs. He's an elite defender on ball. I think Gary Payton's a top 10 card in this game. Dark Matter LaMelo, I think is that step down compared to like an MJ, compared to a Gary Payton. I think he's a tiny bit worse. He's still really good offensively. I loved using that card in my gameplay. If you guys want to go check it out, it was very entertaining, a very fun game. But LaMelo Ball, I would say, is an A tier card. Kawhi Leonard, good defense, very similar card to OG Anunoby. Both going to be great defensive, great two-way cards, but don't provide you much offense. Anthony Davis, I think is a solid power forward. I would say in B tier. Great defender. He can shoot the ball, rebounds a little bit, but only 6'10" compared to other like 7'1" power forwards, 7-foot power forwards like Hakeem, Chet, even like a Giannis at 6'11". Larry Bird, probably in D tier. Just threw him on this list because he's a Dark Matter and we got to have somebody in the D tier category. So I think he's going to be down there. Rudy Gay, I would say he's in B tier. I think he's a solid all-around small forward, very similar to AK where they can do everything. AK is more of a defender, but Rudy Gay can defend at a high level, slash at a high level, got a good jump shot. I don't know if he's like up there with the Scottie Pippins, the Beasleys, and the Giannis's at the small forward position personally. Vlade Divac, surprisingly enough, is actually pretty good. Him and Vucevic are solid at power forward. I think both these cards are going to be in the C tier category. Dark Matter Lamar Odom, very well-rounded card. I think he's similar to a guy like Lauri Markkanen, going to be in that B tier category. And then the last card here, guys, is going to be Galaxy Opal Drazen Petrovic. Very similar card to Jay Rich, really good offensively. He's got a 99 3-point shot, but they gave him the Jarrett Culver base and the Oscar upper on very quick timing. They changed his release and gave him such a good jump shot to the point where I think he's an A tier level card. Now I do want to see how many cards do we have in S. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that's perfect. I'm going to move Chet and I'm also going to move Giannis into the S tier category. But guys, let me know in the comment section down below as I scroll through the tier list here. Let me know what you guys would change about it. Let me know what you guys think about my rankings. Take a second to pause, right? Look at all the rankings. Let me know what you guys think. There's obviously so many cards to rank, so it really comes down to personal opinion, personal preference. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.